Well, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, earlier about how our parents grew up. We're trying to mimic decades old doctrine and practices, and we can't necessarily do that in 2020. We can't take stuff that we've been taught from 1960s and 70s and put that into 2020, because there's a whole new societal norm that has it's shaped us as adults and as human beings. So it's like it's like when it comes to child rearing and spanking, you know like that is spanking within itself is a product of slavery. You can't necessarily tell a tiny human right from wrong just by hitting them. you know you're already inflicting trauma on somebody that just came into the world, and you get mad at them because they're screaming and hollering because they got a poopy diaper in the middle of church. So I mean, like, you can't necessarily take them back into the back room and give them a whooping because they decided that the only way that they needed to communicate at that point in time was through crying and yelling. you know so I think when it comes to that, we gotta look at different ways to break through the generational teachings that have been instilled in us. I think it's starting to change. I've seen a lot of younger people out that have kind of like broken away from that type of thinking, and I think it's only going to get better as our children get older. If we keep up with this type of new way of thinking and especially new way of child rearing, that we're going to do better as a people and as a society.
I see um I see it as an issue of exceptionalism. Uh, we'll take the mode of a Kamala Harris, for example. She came from a generation where she was probably one of the first in her family to be a lawyer. My mother in 1995 became the first physician in my family on both sides, and with that exceptionalism comes pressure, because once you've made it over to the other side, you expect your churn to do the same thing, and sometimes you want to do your own thing, and they won't allow you to do it. So I think that's part of it, and um, unfortunately a lot of families are tied up by poverty. I think sometimes um, there's a class issue with exceptionalism and just achievement and a way of thinking. I think sometimes, not all the time, does a crab in a barrel mentality have to do with that, but I think that's part of it. And I think once our people are able to experience different things, have access to different things and different ways of thinking and different doings and stuff like that, that it will continue to progress, like you said, JL. I agree with that.